Hello and welcome to my classroom. I'm glad you could make it. I'm guessing you are here because you are an aspiring art teacher, because this video is the 5 tips to land your dream job as an art teacher. I'm also assuming that you've already went to college for art education, you've got your certification, your alternative certification, or something where you have your teaching license and you're ready to go out into the world and start your career. But how do you find a job? Where do you look? Where do you go? What can you do? These are going to be 5 tips that have helped me find all 3 of the jobs that I've had, and hopefully will help you. So, tip number 1, get organized. As a teacher, you're going to have to be organized. So get your stuff organized before you get that job too. You'll need to organize your resume, your transcripts, your 3 reference letters, your diploma, your teacher's license, your paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork involved when you apply. Get your old addresses, get all that stuff you need when you apply for a job. Put it in a physical folder, scan all the documents, put it on a computer folder, put it on your hard drive, put it somewhere so you have them ready to apply. Now that you've gotten organized, we'll move on to tip number 2. Network. But what network? I hate the word networking. It makes it seem like this big thing, like you're always constantly schmoozing and trying to find a job, but that's not true. There's a couple ways to network that are very easy. The first way to network is to do it online. Go on Facebook, Instagram, or any of the social media sites and find groups. Sorry, I had a little burp there. Find some groups that are for art teachers. Even if you're not an art teacher yet, you're going to be. And what I noticed in these groups, I follow like 4 different art teacher groups on Facebook. I noticed that a lot of the other teachers will post their district job openings when they have openings for an art teacher. So that's a great way to know firsthand who is hiring at the time. Do that. The second way to network is in person. I went to teaching job fairs or even conferences or PDs where other art teachers are or other teachers and seeing who's hiring. So at a job fair, you're going to talk to the head upper ups of every district. And a lot of the time they don't have job openings for art teachers, but if you talk to them, they might remember you. And when they do have a job 6 months later, you will apply and they will say, "Hey, I remember you," and they will hire you, which has happened to me twice. So, other ways are the conferences. I went to a conference as an art teacher in a different state for it was like a week-long retreat. And so many art teachers were like, "Hey, who needs a job? Hey, who needs a job? Who needs a job?" And I was like, "I already have a job. That's why I'm here." But oh my gosh, there's so many openings. Whoa. Retreats, those are a little expensive, but they're good ways to meet other art teachers. Tip number 3. Tip number 3, I'm trying, is to be willing to move. What? Oh my gosh, but I don't want to move. I think I'm going to find the perfect job 10 miles from my house. No, that's probably not true. But it does happen, and maybe it's not going to be the perfect job. You're really limiting yourself if you want to stay in a very specific area, especially like a small town. A bigger city might have more options, but I would say be willing to move for your perfect job. There are so many different areas of the country or world where you can teach, and there's so many more job opportunities open to you. So take the risk, be willing to move, drive 5 hours away for an interview, which I did, drive 5 more hours to check out another school, which I've done. Be willing to move across the country or to a different state, a different place to find your dream job. I had a job in Minnesota, I had a job in Texas, I have a job now in New Mexico, and I'm so glad I took those leaps because they've led me to a great teaching job. Tip number 4 is after you know that somewhere is applying, you have to find the job posting. So go to the district school's website, the website of the school district. Don't go to Indeed, don't go to Job Finder or I don't know what other job websites are, but go to the school district's website, look for their job openings, and they're going to have a posting. If they don't have a posting for an art teacher, you can do a general application, like an open application, I believe, and apply, because you've already talked to the people at their school. They already said they have a job opening. Apply, and they will remember your name. And then you're in. Well, you're in their system, and then they just have to call you and be like, interview time. Which brings me to tip number 5. When you're interviewing and a little before you're interviewing, you should have an online teaching portfolio. Somewhere that someone can click on and find your teaching expertise, amazingness. You will have your resume, which will list the jobs you've done, but you're not going to add pictures. You're not going to add all the flair that you could add as an art teacher. I keep my resume very simple. It's a black and white, because I don't want to pay for a colored prints. Has very concise information, my name, my job history, all that stuff. And I really shine on an art teaching portfolio on my website. I just made a Google site, which was the easiest to me. I'm not very fancy with website making, but Google sites are very, very easy. So I set up a 1-page web page of everything about me as an art teacher, even if it's just your college work too, or your student teaching experience, you can amp it up. I put a picture of me and a little description of who I am. I put my teaching philosophy. I put example lesson plans, student artwork, assessment examples, and on the very bottom I put my own artwork, because when you're trying to apply to be a teacher, it is not the most important that you have your artwork shine. You want to make the students shine, not so much you, but it is helpful to have what kind of art you make too. Okay, that has been my 5 tips to land your dream job as an art teacher. Now go be free and find your art teaching career. I hope you find it, and I hope it's amazing, just as amazing as you thought it would be.